All right, good morning, everybody. Joe Van Doren here, and welcome to our Virtues Pick for this brand new week. And we have such a great word, one that we can all really appreciate, and that word is consideration. So let's read the description first, and then we'll discuss it a little bit. So here we go. So consideration is giving careful thought to the needs of others. It is also holding a decision in a contemplative and thoughtful way. We mindfully consider what will result from our choices before we act. We speak with gentleness and tact. We care about others and their feelings. We carefully observe their preferences and needs, then do things to give them ease or bring them joy. Consideration shines in small daily acts that add to the happiness of others. It is one of the most meaningful ways to show love. Considerate people give the very best gifts. Wow, what a great word, right? And a great way to start the week, thinking about how we can demonstrate this virtue and the way that we speak and act and talk. And so today, as I think about this, as you know, we're camping up in Tennessee, in the mountains of Tennessee. We love it up here, and each day, you know, we're with ourselves. We're not with a bunch of other people. And so for me, that means that, how am I demonstrating this virtue with my closest family, the ones I'm most intimate with, my wife, in other words. And since there's no kids around, there's no other people really around. So it's just a time to think about what is it that I can do today that is something that would be helpful. What is something that I could do today that would show that I care about their feelings or about what they needs that she might have, right? And then doing them in a way that is peaceful. It's with ease. It's not with any sort of feeling of responsibility or whatever. It's just acting in a way that's considerate, that's mindful of what others need, and wanting to do so to bring happiness to the other person. And so for me, that's how it applies to me today. We are going out today. And so we're going to be around a bunch of other people. We'll be doing some driving. And so, how can I be considerate today? Am I going to, let that person out? Am I going to let that person cross the street? I don't know. Am I going to hold the door for someone who is right behind me? So, yeah, there's just so many ways for us to demonstrate consideration. But I think that for me anyway, and maybe for most of us, demonstrating that consideration with our family members, showing that we care about their feelings and that we want to be thoughtful in the decisions that we make and the things that we choose to do, and the acts, the kind acts that we might be able to perform. That is probably the strongest way that we can demonstrate our consideration. So, I guess the next question obviously is how do we help our children to grow this practice of consideration? Well, is it thinking about helping them to see what others might need, asking them, what do you think that person might need? I remember seeing a news report or something about a young girl who saw people who were homeless, that were cold, and their parents asked the young girl, what do you think they might need? And she said, well, I think they might need mittens, or I think they might need blankets. I can't remember which one it was. But nonetheless, she then started to take action and do things to collect mittens or blankets or whatever it was that she was collecting. What a great way of demonstrating consideration, right? And so even when we're with our children, talking to them about being considerate in the way that we speak to each other, looking for ways to be gentle and to bring joy to others with our actions, with our words, with our facial expressions. All of those things have a way of demonstrating consideration for other people. So I would just suggest that it's something that when we talk about the 4 C's of successful families, clarity is the very first one, and being very clear and discussing a virtue once a week and saying, okay, so how can our family show consideration? What would that practice look like for our family? And so I'm certainly not the one to be saying, well, this person or that person should do this or do that. I would just suggest that we can have that conversation within our own family and just ask, what could we do that would show consideration for each other? Or how could I be more considerate of you? Maybe you ask your mate that, right? So yeah, that's what I'm thinking about today as far as consideration is concerned, and it'll be a practice for me today, for sure. So I noticed that I'm dropping a lot of frames on this, so I hope it's not too choppy, but it's been raining up here in the Tennessee for the last couple of days, and will be for the next couple of days, and sometimes that has an effect on our internet, right? So at any rate, I look forward to seeing everybody tomorrow as we choose a new virtue. But for today, let's consider how we can use this virtue of consideration by caring for others with acts of kindness and with tactful speech. So until next time, keep practicing the virtues and the 4 C's of successful families. And that is clarity, communication, consistency, and community. Until tomorrow, bye.